inspire you to achieve the skin of your dreams, but it's to teach you on how to care for your skin to get your dream skin a reality. Learn with me as I combine my inspirational and spiritual side along with my skin enthusiast and professional and educated mind. I'm your host, Danielle Cerrone, self-made skincare practitioner, certified esthetician, business owner, beauty blogger, and now Inspirations Beauty Show host. My intentions through this outlet is to educate you so that you know everything there is to know about skin and how to care for it. Not only will this podcast help spruce up your skincare routine and uncomplicate the beauty industry, but I'm here to help create you be your own skin master. Each episode will cover a topic to bring you closer to that master status. And the best thing is that this industry is always growing, so we will be learning a lot together. So are you ready? Let's go, inspirational beauties. It's learning time. And we're back. Welcome to episode 2. Although it feels like this is more of my episode 1 because today is actually our first topic, it technically is episode 2 because episode 1 was all about me and my lovely business. So if you want to learn a little bit more about me or my business or even what this podcast is going to try and do, or my intentions rather with this episode and this podcast, give that a listen. And if that doesn't interest you, you can just continue to listen to this awesome episode filled with juicy information about how your skin talks and what it's trying to tell you. So when I was first really trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about in my first episode, my brain was going a mile a minute. Like it was going from one topic to the next to like adding this in to like going, I was everywhere. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to do it about properly cleansing your skin. And then I'm like, no. Properly exfoliating your skin is way more important. And I'm like, well, they just need to know how to listen to their skin. I'm like, that's it. How to listen to your skin. So of course, then I'm starting to like brainstorm all these tips and these facts and these points. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be like 5 hours. So then the final decision finally dawned on me. And it was that I'm going to talk about how your skin is talking to you and what it's trying to tell you. But each episode is going to be a specific way your skin's talking to you. So that's what finally brought me to this topic. So today we're going to learn about how your skin is trying to tell you to take it down a notch. Yes, we're going to learn about how potentially you have overly sensitized your skin. Or maybe you just have chronic sensitivities. Regardless, we're going to learn today how your skin is trying to tell you that it needs a break. So oftentimes our skin is trying to tell us something, but we often miss the signs or we misread them. So I would love to help you see and then listen to the signs that you can do so that you can start caring for your skin immediately. Firstly, I really want you to know that these episodes are uploaded not in a specific order necessarily, so you can choose and pick which episode you want to listen to based off the topic. So don't fixate too much on which episodes you've already listened to or the order. Like, try not to be too OCD like I would be, and just click the one that calls your name or that you think you need to learn about. I will likely, however, refer to other episodes if a topic can be partnered or supported with another episode that I've already recorded. So you might stumble upon another episode just based off of that. But my hope is that every episode teaches you something so that you can take the information provided and then implement it into your routine immediately. Secondly, I am always learning, which means that I will likely have more information to share on topics that I've already covered. So for example, I'm talking about how your skin could be compromised or sensitive, and then maybe in 5 episodes from now, I have more tips and tricks to provide you. So I will be covering a bunch of topics and then continually adding what I've learned in future episodes as well. So that being said, you might just want to listen to all the episodes so that you can get all the juicy facts and info on how to care for your skin. But anyway, another thing to keep in mind, in addition to how episodes will constantly have information added to it, the industry is always evolving, and I'm always learning, like I just mentioned, which is actually one of the main reasons why I really love skincare, because it's just always a challenge and there's always new things to learn, which keeps things extra exciting. So again, keep that in mind as episodes are released and topics are covered, because there's likely going to be more information covering a topic that I've already expanded on. So stay tuned for all of that and the updates as the episodes continue. So with all that in mind, your skin talks, and today we're going to learn if your skin has been compromised. Is your skin screaming for some TLC? And that TLC that we're talking about isn't more. It's actually less. So let's talk about that redness, the flushing, or the overall skin sensitivities that you might be experiencing. So of course, without looking at you and your specific skin condition or what's going on within your skin cells, here are a few things that you can understand so that we can learn about your skin sensitivities without doing a specific or professional skin consultation, since obviously I can't see you, I can't touch you. Consultations you can book with me, which I will provide information in the show notes on how to do that. Even if you're not in London, Ontario, I am happy to teach you from afar. We can do virtual trainings and I can help you over Instagram. But this episode is just to help keep you educated on possible things to consider to help learn and potentially even reverse the redness and sensitivities in your skin. So it's really important to analyze whether you have true skin sensitivities or induced sensitivities. So true sensitivities is something that you would have pretty much since you can remember. Like when you were a child, your skin was red or it was itchy. You've had some type of skin barrier issues. Induced sensitivities is more likely what you have specifically done to disturb your natural skin barrier. So an induced sensitivity likely comes as we age. It slowly happens and it can be done by over-exfoliating your skin, for example, using improper products, harsh continuous skin treatments, poor eating habits, etc. There's multiple things that can influence your skin. Those are just a few to take in consideration. So once you've narrowed it down, whether you're a chronic sensitive skin condition, meaning you've had this all your life, or maybe you're now realizing that your skin has changed within the last few years, and that's likely induced sensitivities. Once you understand this, it gives you a better idea of what your next course of action should be. So regardless of the sensitivities, so let's just start there. Regardless of the sensitivities, whether it's induced or it's something that you've had all your life, I will offer you some insight and specific signs to show you that your skin is asking to heal and how you can start repairing your skin barrier today. So something to really understand and look for. This is if this is your skin telling you that it's in pain. Flushing of the skin. Flushing of the skin means that your skin turns red or pink easily, potentially with blotches. So after you shower, after you work out, potentially even after you cleanse, this is a lot of redness, a lot of flushing, a lot of pinkness is brought to the surface of your skin. It's immediately seen. Another physical telltale sign that your skin is compromised is that you get rashes or dry patches like scaly skin, or that your skin is overall super dry. Those are things that aren't a physical sensation, but something that you can physically see. A physical sensation in the sense of touch is something that like burns or tingles or itches when you apply product. Yes, potentially that could mean it's an allergy. Never, ever outrule that if you're having an itch or a sting or anything. Keep in mind that it could be an allergic reaction, just in case. It's not always, but just keep that on the forefront of your mind. But it could simply be because your skin is so compromised and it has heightened sensations from the active ingredients from the product that you're using. So that physical itch, that physical burn could also be that the ingredients you're using is just a little bit too much for your skin right now. So if you've experienced any or all of these symptoms so far, that's a pretty good indication that your skin needs a break and that whatever you're doing, you're overdoing it. So a few things I want you to consider and ask yourself so that we can dig a little bit deeper is your genetics. Do you have the redhead gene or the acne gene in your family? This may seem like a silly question, and a lot of my clients look at me like, are you crazy? Like, do you know what you just asked me? I don't know if she knows. Yes, that is actually a thing. There are specific genes that will trigger sensitivities or inflammation within the skin. So even if you don't necessarily have acne or blemishes in your skin, and your concern is more of the redness, the flushing, or the dryness, that could still be exacerbated because of the redhead or acne gene. So even though you may not be redhead yourself and you may not be struggling with acne, that doesn't mean that that gene isn't contributing to your sensitivities. If you have not been specifically tested or told about these genes, you can ask your doctor or even ask your naturopath to go down this avenue. You can simply even take a peek at your family's skin, or obviously their hair. How's your mom and dad's skin? Or even your siblings, your great-grandparents, grandparents. Have they suffered from acne? Do they still suffer from acne? Do they have overly sensitive skin? You can kind of do your own homework and then get a better idea whether this is potentially the reason your skin is maybe chronically sensitive. Just because they experience acne and maybe you're experiencing the sensitivity, it could still be the same gene. In order to explore this more, again, potentially ask your family doctor for genetic testings. Unfortunately, not many doctors will do this, especially I think in Canada, it's a little bit harder. So maybe you can source out a naturopath to help you with this, or you can maybe search up something else that can help you. But unfortunately, I specifically cannot help you with that avenue. I can try to educate you, but I can't do those testings for you. So maybe you've asked your family, you've done your homework, you've looked around, and of course, no one has acne, no one has the redhead gene, and no one has skin sensitivities. You're just that black sheep, right? Of course. So that potentially is not the issue. So let's move on. Have you considered hormonal imbalances, or maybe even an autoimmune disease? How could these factors potentially be your culprit? So one main connection between autoimmune disease and hormonal issues is specifically with the thyroid, hypothyroidism. So maybe if you've heard about thyroid issues in your family, or maybe even with yourself, hypothyroidism commonly causes severe dry skin. When you have severe dry skin, it typically leads to more chronic issues like bigger dry patches, redness, internal body swelling, chronic scaling, pink flush tone in your skin, poor stagnant circulation, and all of those type of things, which will then cause sensitive skin. Inflammation shows up in the body in multiple ways. Usually in the skincare world, however, when we hear inflammation, we automatically think of that massive whitehead in the middle of your forehead or that big cystic cluster on your jawline. Inflammation is actually a term used when there's a localized imbalance of disruption in the skin, which is then triggering a response. So even though we think of that whitehead or that cluster of acne, that's because, yes, that is inflammation of redness, swelling, pain, infection, temperature change, which are all common factors of inflammation. But what we often forget is it's not just about the pus or the bacteria. It can simply be that triggering response with pain, swelling, or redness. So speaking of compromised skin with genetics and hormones, if you have dry skin, you likely notice your skin is more sensitive and it's highly reactive. Again, think of the things we've chatted about, whether it's texture, whether it's temperature, whether it's even applying a product and you're getting that tingling. This is because the natural skin barrier is so compromised, it's trying to get your attention. When the skin lacks moisture, it easily cracks, and the natural pigment typically goes more pink or purple or even a gray hue. In extreme cases, this can also be tied in with skin disorders such as psoriasis or eczema, which I will get to in further episodes. But having hydrated skin and helping correct these skin issues and helping heal the compromised barrier is very important to help prevent any of these skin complications to get worse. So if potentially you're thinking your hormones are off, or maybe hypothyroidism could potentially be a factor that you think fits, please go see a doctor, work with a naturopath or something to get that a little bit more regulated or stable, and you will see changes in your skin, even as a physical touch, and the temperature change, and it will be a lot more comfortable to deal with on a daily basis. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. So we've chatted about potentially like the genetic or the hormonal causes that could be causing your skin sensitivities. Again, those can be factors that would be towards the chronic, something that you're born with, or even the ones that you've unfortunately induced upon yourself. So if those two things don't seem like they're lining up and your genetics are fine, your hormones are balanced, maybe your skin sensitivities is self-induced because your skin is so dry. Dry skin can potentially be genetically predispositioned, but it's often something that's self-induced. So regardless of the source of your dry skin, taking care of your skin barrier is exceptionally important to not further the sensitivities or even to stop long-term damage. Here are a few things that you can do to try to help your dry skin or even correct your dry skin and your sensitive skin in general. Okay, so remember me briefly explaining to you that you maybe potentially have caused the sensitivity yourself, whether it's from previous treatments you've had, poor nutrition, over exfoliating. Well, here are the things you're likely doing wrong that you need to make modifications to. So firstly, remember to drink plenty of water. You need to drink half your body weight in ounces. That's the daily recommended water intake. This is not only to help your organs and help your body, but also to help your skin. So you need to know that your skin is actually the last place that benefits from the water consumption that you consume on a daily basis. You need to eat well. Eating a well-balanced diet with healthy fats like avocados, almonds, fish, chia seeds, I could name a million things, which again will be another episode. This helps provide nutrients and hydration to your skin from within. So when your skin has that water and that healthy balance of healthy fats, your skin will provide its own hydration. Things like using hydration products like creamy cleansers or hydrating toners, nourishing serums or creams, facial oils, just to name a few, will also help that skin barrier. However, I like to try to tackle things internally before just hoping that a moisturizer will work, just because just using a moisturizer will not fix all the issues. In regards to habits or daily routines, make sure you're patting your skin dry with a microfiber towel. You never want to rub, and you never want to be too aggressive with the towel that you're using, because that can cause your skin to be overly sensitive, cause micro tears in the skin, and just exacerbate the issues that we're trying to reverse. So always pat your skin dry and preferably use a microfiber towel. As for products, like I mentioned, hydrating products are the best, but always apply your serums and your moisturizers to your skin that's slightly damp. I don't want your skin wet or dripping, but a little bit dewy will do the trick, because the serums will then bind to water and pull that water into your skin, which obviously helps with overall hydration. When you are cleansing, use cool or lukewarm water. Never hot water. Hot water will it will flush your skin, but it will also draw a lot of your moisture from your skin and evaporate a lot quicker off your skin, which causes more dryness. These final 3 things to consider, I'm going to explore with you more. So, like avoiding coffee, avoiding alcohol, avoiding spicy food, why to avoid sun and heat, and dare I say it, but you need to stop exfoliating. Okay, so is food making you blush? Your flushed cheeks could actually be from the things you're consuming. I'm going to do another episode all about foods, like foods to eat for your skin, foods that maybe deteriorate your skin. So don't get too focused on that specifically. But in regards to sensitive skin, or even if you're trying to correct your skin, treat your flushing, avoid spicy foods, coffee, alcohol, energy drinks, or even like pop, anything full of sugar. This is because those previously listed things are vasodilators. So they cause the veins to constrict and increase blood flow. When this happens, it shows up in our skin, especially if you have overly sensitized skin. And this can bring the pinkness throughout the skin, even more looking like a light sunburn, those flushed cheeks, or even that red nose after too many drinks, that red face, or that like red neck from spicy foods. This can exacerbate your existing sensitivities and prolong the flushing of your skin. So if you already have skin sensitivities and your cheeks already flush, and you consume a bunch of alcohol or a bunch of spicy food, for example, that pinkness or redness in your skin will stay longer. Other potential things to avoid are things like dairy and gluten. This is recommended to avoid or at least limit the amount you are consuming. I understand that we want to live a little, but maybe even just limiting the daily intake will be beneficial. One thing I really love suggesting to my clients is to food log. This is because not only can we see the correlation of the foods and drinks and beverages we're consuming and how they influence our skin, but you'll also start seeing that you actually consume more than you thought. So a lot of the time you'll write down, I had this for breakfast, had this as a snack. You'll start seeing a pattern of, wow, I do eat a lot of sugar. I do eat a lot of gluten. I do drink a lot of coffee. Whatever it may be, you may be surprised with how much you're actually consuming. Therefore, potentially limiting the consumption would be beneficial. I like to say to start limiting with one thing at a time. This is just a little bit more realistic and potentially even can help you find the culprit without removing everything at once. And potentially maybe that means you've removed something that isn't necessarily affecting your skin. So you remove one thing and it's immediately better. You don't have to go down the rabbit hole of removing a bunch of things. So that could help you too. All right, again, guys, definitely everything that I'm saying here, I'm like, oh my God, that's going to be another episode. That's going to be its own topic. So don't worry if things you feel aren't too, talked about or discussed, because there will be a specific topic, an episode about it, but I do want to give you the overall generic and understanding. So the next one that I want you guys to avoid, especially if you have sensitive skin, is sun. So if you have overly sensitized skin, or you have chronic sensitive skin, staying out of the sun in extremely hot, humid environments is really important. You probably have even noticed, especially if you're from Canada, that yes, in winter your skin gets drier, but maybe the flushing of your skin is gone, or that constant sunburn, that not actual sunburn from the sun, but that look, the appearance of a sunburn is gone. So yes, avoiding the sun is not only beneficial so that you prevent yourself from burning, but with sensitive skin, you could potentially get hives, rashes, redness, flushing, or even prolonged sensitivities and cell damage just from the strong UV rays and the high temperatures. Even if one previous potential thing that I've mentioned doesn't speak true to you or your sensitive skin, like the genetics or the hormones of food, just avoid the sun. Pick this one as your thing to do to avoid. Not only will your skin thank you immediately, but it will also thank you in years to come. Yeah, and it could even cause a better reaction to healing. So when you have a lot of sun exposure, your cells are a little bit more damaged, so your skin can't repair as quickly. If all that wasn't enough to tell you to avoid the sun, one thing that you can consider is that sun, heat, and humidity can actually cause a reaction that you thought was dormant or that you thought have subsided or that was taken care of. It can cause that reaction to be back. The next thing you know it, after a lovely weekend out on the beach, you have that reaction, that rash, or that flushing. So that tropical vacation may not be worth it. So just keep that in mind with overly sensitive skin, especially if it's something that you've noticed in the last few years that you're really trying to correct and treat before it gets worse. All right, I saved this one for last because this for sure will be its own episode. This was honestly one of the first ones I recorded, being like, okay, this needs to be talked about. This needs to be shared. Like, people need to know how to exfoliate, how to do it properly, when to stop exfoliating. It's going to be like 5 episodes in itself. So yes, stop exfoliating. Exfoliating is honestly going to be one of the biggest things that you will notice once you stop in your routine. Your skin improves. I have had so many clients tell me that, oh my goodness, like even taking that out has helped my skin. Or I noticed even within a few weeks of taking exfoliating out of my routine that my redness healed, or I broke out less, or there's millions of reasons why you should stop exfoliating. But please, 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 especially if you have sensitive skin or your skin is red, it's flushed, it's patchy, it's dry, I can't stress this enough. Please stop exfoliating. Please stop exfoliating, not only for my own peace of mind so that I can sleep at night, but also for your poor, sore skin. Please just stop. I know, being a little bit dramatic, but I'm just trying to really stress the importance here. Like I mentioned before, I'm going to go in full detail in future episodes, but the main thing for this episode specifically, when your skin is dry or flaking off, it's actually asking yourself, like your skin, to stop being exfoliated. We often think that when we see that, we need to slough off that dead skin, or, our skin isn't regenerating quickly, or our skin isn't sloughing that off. We need to do that for it. Like, it needs kind of an aid, it needs a boost, and that's why we use exfoliants. But actually, that's your skin saying, leave me alone for a little bit. I need to do my thing. I'm not okay. I'm compromised. Just leave me be. I will erase my dead skin off when it's time. Exfoliating your super dry skin is highly reactive and it's detrimental to your skin and can thin out your skin, cause all these issues for long-term, even short-term damage. Did that one just blow your mind? It does usually to people. It's like, wait, what? Like, my skin flaking off and having that dry patch, isn't my skin telling me that it needs to be exfoliated? Like, that's actually my skin telling me to leave it alone? Like, what? I didn't know that. Yeah, so now you do. So you're going to put that exfoliator away, especially if you have sensitive skin, and you're going to leave it alone. So what do you think? Has your skin been talking to you and you've been hearing it all wrong? Usually that's the case, and that's why I'm here. That little tip that I just dropped for you is going to be the most important one out of this entire episode. Your skin is talking to you. It's telling you it's overly compromised, so stop exfoliating. That's essentially all you need to know from this entire episode. Or maybe you didn't know that maybe that extra foam cream-filled latte was giving you those flushed cheeks that you really started to notice after 7 a.m. when you just finished it. And you're like, that's weird. Like, my cheeks are now flushed. And then you've skipped that latte and you're like, wow, I don't have my flushed cheeks at 7 a.m. anymore. Maybe that's it. Or maybe that thyroid issue or the medications you're taking could also be the reason for your dry, scaly skin, and you never even considered that. Hopefully, one thing was brought to your attention today to help you fix and treat your sensitive skin. I hope you've enjoyed the first official episode, and like I said, I hope you've learned a thing or two. I'm really excited to share with you guys future episodes to come. And honestly, guys, thank you so much for listening. If you've loved this episode or you learned a thing or two, share it on your socials or tag my business. Help me spread the word or even leave a review. I have heard from podcasts that I listen to that leaving a review is like gold in the podcast world. So if you want to leave me some sugar or want to leave me some little gold trails, I would love that. Leave me a review, tag me on Instagram, share it with your friends. If someone really needs to know this, or you've just been talking to a friend about their sensitive skin, let them know this so that we can all sleep peacefully at night and save some skin cells one at a time. Let's all together help those compromised faces out there. Thank you so much, and I hope you tune in to the next episode that I'm going to launch, and I'm going to try to get you a podcast every single Monday. So keep your eyes peeled. Stay internally and externally beautiful, all you inspirational beings. Treat that skin well, and we'll chat next week.